The video tutorial entitled Dispatch and Invoice a Sales Order concluded with the generation of a sales invoice. However, the application doesn't force you to generate a sales order for completion in order to generate an invoice. In fact, you can generate an invoice directly from the sales invoice screen. From here, simply click New Invoice, complete the customer details, and then the stock item detail identifying what it is that's being sold. The default sales account is automatically selected, but if you have others set up, then you can change that here. Similarly with projects, if there are projects set up on your system or departments, and for that you'll need to see separate tutorials, they can be selected there. The unit price is taken from the stock record, and the quantity is simply entered here. Delivery method here, and you'll notice that if an extended description exists against this stock item, it will appear on a second line here, but that can be removed by selecting and toggling the description. On this invoice, in addition to the physical stock item that's being sold, we're adding a second line for delivery, which is selected in precisely the same way. The same options exist in terms of sales account, projects, departments, and again the unit price is taken from the stock record, and the quantity in this case is 1. And the quantity in this case could be, for example, the number of miles for which this over which this delivery is taking place. At this point, if we're happy that all the details are correct, we can save and send the invoice, and depending upon the default options set on the customer, this will either flag to be printed or to be emailed, but either can be selected at this point and the document sent. Whether the option is set to print or email, we will always get, for stock items, a delivery note in 2 parts, 1 copy for the customer and a copy for ourselves, which includes an area to be endorsed and signed by the customer as proof of delivery. This invoice then is listed on the sales invoice screen, along with any others that have been produced. It will of course appear on the customer listing, and we can look back at the details from that listing. And finally the stock item. The stock item will show the quantity delivered against that invoice as being taken from stock. The delivery line item is of course a service as opposed to a physical stock item, and therefore there will be no stock record kept of that. It's important to note that the stock items are correctly set up because, for example, when generating an invoice for a European customer, you can see that the same item and same quantity have generated no VAT to be collected on behalf of HM Revenue and Customs. Just to confirm that, back to sales invoices and the original invoice we sent to Bridgend Plastics, which was a UK customer. same item, and there's VAT.